Good morning, everyone. Hi, and welcome to Wellness Wednesdays by Rush Point. I'm here to teach you a 20-minute flex stretcher focused flow. So all you'll need for class today is your flex stretcher and something comfortable to lay on, whether it's a yoga mat, a blanket, a towel, whatever it is, that's all you'll need. If you don't have a flex stretcher, you're more than welcome to tune along through the beginning of class. It will be specifically tailored to exercises that you can do with the prop or without. As we move on to the end of class, you'll be able to see some more flex stretcher specific exercises. We are still shipping, so if you'd like to order one for yourself, we'll still be doing these classes through the month of June, and then we'll have select classes through the month of July, so you can tune back in and follow along with us. I have a few questions coming through. Oh, great. I'm so glad everyone is back. Hello. Thank you for tuning in. If you are new, you can pop in at the bottom, let me know where you're tuning in from. It is 8 a.m. here in sunny Los Angeles. So class is designed just to get your body moving, feeling good, blood pumping, getting some flexibility and strength training in to start your day or wherever you are. Classes, like always, will be saved to our IGTV, so if you don't have a chance to tune in and follow along now, you can hop on to our IGTV and follow along and take class wherever you would like. Cool. So just as a heads up, I'll go ahead and turn these comments off when we're ready to start class. So if you have anything in, please let me know now. What's your favorite point shoes? Right now I wear the Ruby and Radiance by Russian Point. They're their newest pair of shoe. Really lightweight, really beautiful. I'm really obsessed with it. Yeah. So I'll be turning off these comments. If you have any questions, please get them in now. I'll turn them back in at the end of class so I can address any other questions. Who sent you the ballet injury advice? Justin, if you could comment in later, I'd love to hear more about that. I don't know if I was specifically the one chatting with you. Okay, so I'm going to go over the parts of the flex stretcher. If you've been here before, you've definitely heard me say this. You can just keep stretching. Otherwise, here are the parts of the flex stretcher. So our first part is this neoprene center. This makes it super comfortable to go around your shoulder, to go around your hips, things like that when you go into full ranges of motion. Next thing is you have your elastic center. I'll ask you to grab this a lot. This is the part of the flexi stretcher. I want you to pay attention to the entire class. So every time you pull this flex stretcher out, you have the ability to let it come back to center, obviously. So instead of just collapsing and letting it snap back to center, I want you to keep your muscles engaged and slowly let it come back through center. Most important part of the whole class. Next thing, meta loops. I'll also ask you to grab this. It's a super easy way, adjustment free for your hand to fit in. If we are adjusting, these are the adjustable straps I'll refer you to. To adjust, all you have to do is take your thumb and your middle finger to the side of the adjuster. Take your index finger to the top. We'll slide it closer to the elastic center if you want to make it tighter, a shorter strap, more difficult, more resistance. Take your opposite hand and pull it away from the center if you want to make it bigger for a fuller range of motion, for a bigger exercise, looser, if you're tighter on that side, whatever it is. Always be sure to adjust both sides at the same time, so when you fold the flex stretcher in half, the loop should end up just about even. Mine are not a good example of that, so let me adjust. Cool. If you have any questions, requests, or anything, please let me know. Otherwise, we're going to go ahead and get started here. So grab your flex stretcher, find your way to your mat, and welcome everyone. Let's get moving. So we're going to start class today onto our knees. We're going to tuck the toes underneath us and sit the hips back onto our heels. Your flex stretcher is close by, but set it down for the moment. And actually tuck the toes underneath you. So you're really bringing the pinky toes actually underneath the foot. As we move through this, we'll be here for a little bit. If it feels too much, come up onto the knees. This will release some tension and some of the weight into the stretch, but it doesn't totally come out of it. Then if you get the courage, if you get the flexibility, you'll come back sitting down onto the heels. All right, from here we're going to pull the skin of the knees up and back so you're really creating room through the front of the lower body, and then take the palm of your hands and push them down where the hip crease meets the upper thigh, and really find a little bit more length through your upper body. Take a deep breath in, exhale out. Good, we're going to go ahead and grab our flexi stretcher and hold on to this elastic center I was talking about. Sit up tall, take a moment to draw the rib cage in and let the shoulders release down away from the ears. Focus on your alignment and then pull the flex stretcher out. Slowly let it come back to center. I want you to focus on how the muscles activate when you pull the arms out wide and how they stay active as they slowly return back through center. If you don't have a flex stretcher, I want you to imagine that you're doing this with a strap right in front of you, or you're pulling out wide. Feel the tension, and then imagine slowly coming back in through center. From here, we're gonna let the arms rise up and overhead again. Check in on your alignment. The rib cage is drawing in and up, the abdominals are engaged, and the shoulders are lowered down away from the ears. We're gonna pull the flex stretcher out wide, feel the muscles of the back engage, and then slowly let it rise back up through center. Good, pull the arms out wide, feel the lats, feel the back really engaged behind you, and keep those active as we slowly return. 3 more, we're pulling out, lift back in, pull out, in, and last one, pull out, back in. Good, slowly let the arms lower down in front of you. We're still holding on to that elastic center, and then the arms will come up and overhead. You're only moving so far that the rib cage stays pulled in, the shoulders stay down away from the ears. We're just trying to open up the shoulders a bit and keep that core and alignment engaged as we stretch through the bottoms of the feet. Good, take 2 more here. Make sure you're still breathing. Deep, full breaths. So we're just getting warmed up. Good, on the next one, you can release the flex stretcher down in front of you. We're gonna bring our hands down to the floor and untuck the toes behind us. From here, we're gonna take our flex stretcher around our shoulders. So it's gonna start in one arm, go behind our back, come down to our other arm. How I like to get into this is put my left hand in the loop, reach it behind my back, the thumb center should be across my shoulders, and then my right hand in the right loop. When you stretch your arms out, you should have some tension, so I'm going to tighten my straps a bit. Always take the time to adjust your straps and really feel comfortable in the position, whether that's loosening or tightening. You'll get more benefit if you just take the time to come out of it and figure it out. Okay, so when I reach my hands forward, I should feel press into the flex stretcher. I'm going to lower my hands down to the floor, hands directly underneath our shoulders, knees are directly underneath our hips. Take a deep breath in, let the belly button lower, let the gaze come forward, arch your spine, push down on the tops of the feet. Exhale, push down on the hands, push down on the feet, and really spread the shoulder blades apart as you round through the spine. A deep breath in, the belly button lowers, the gaze comes forward. Exhale, round through the back. Good, take 2 more times on your own breath. Exhale. Last one. Exhale. Good, from here we're going to return back to our neutral spine. Bring our right leg back behind us. Lengthen that leg long and tip a little bit forward and back. Finding some more length through the back of the leg, through the back of the calf, and warming up the bottom of the foot. Good, let the right knee lower down towards the floor. Reach your left leg long and back behind you. Pause for a moment here with that long and lengthened left leg, and then step the right leg back to meet it. From here, we're going to tip forward 2 inches, tip back 2 inches. We'll go for 9 and 8. Pull the core in. 6 and 5. Last 4 and 3, 2, 1. Good. From here, we're going to let the knees lower down just for a moment. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, tuck the toes, rise the legs back up. We're going to roll all of our weight to our right side, come to the outside part of the right foot, the inside part of the left foot to lift up into a side plank. From here, thread your top arm through, lift it back up. Good, we'll take 4 more. Thread and lift. Really rotate through the upper body, press against the resistance of the strap. Last one. Let your left hand lower down towards the floor. We'll roll to the outside part of the left foot, inside part of the right foot. Lift up, hips rise. Twist for 5 and 4. Last 3 Last 2. Last 1. Let your top arm rise up and then lower down towards the floor. With the knees tucked down. Sitting down onto the knees, release the flexor stretcher out from in front of you. And then take your hands, interlace them, and just make figure 8s with the arms. Kind of massaging out the wrists a little bit from all the pressure into the planks. Good, and then switch, make opposite figure 8s that don't quite look like figure 8s, but that's okay. Good, we're gonna shake out the hands. Release our flex stretcher to the front of our mat with it just lengthened long. The last 6 centers lengthen long to the front. Come, so you're standing into a forward fold. We're just gonna relax for a second over our legs. The knees can be slightly bent. You can grab onto opposite elbows and just relax a little bit from side to side. Good, from here, let the hands release down towards the floor and then roll up 1 vertebra at a time to come all the way up through standing. We'll take a deep breath in, let the arms come up. And then exhale, roll through the spine, slowly release everything down to the floor. When the hands make it to the floor, walk them forward. Maybe walk the feet back a little bit, come back into our plank. We're gonna step our right foot in between the hands to the inside part of the right thumb into our lunge. Grab a hold of the elastic center of your flex stretcher, reach it out and up, coming into a high lunge. You can release the chest open a bit, take a deep breath in, exhale out. 1 more deep breath in, exhale out. We'll come back through center, and then we're gonna twist our torso over towards that right leg. Come back through center. Let the hands, the flex stretcher lower down towards the floor. We're gonna come onto our fingertips, straighten your front leg. Maybe step your back foot in 3 to 6 inches. You're on the tops of the fingertips. Right foot is parallel, left foot is just on a slight diagonal, length and long. Either staying here, drawing your right hip long and back behind you, or keep that right hip drawing back and then slowly let the torso begin to lengthen forward over the front leg. Take long and lengthened breaths. See where you can relax some tension from your shoulders, your jaw, your face. On your inhale, lengthen the spine, come up into a flat back, plant the hands, bend in your right leg. Left leg comes back into that lunge, right foot steps back into your plank. From here, bend in the knees, walk the hands back into your forward fold, and then slowly roll everything up through standing. We'll take a deep breath in, the arms come up and overhead. Exhale, roll the body down to the floor. Hands walk all the way out into your plank when they meet the floor. We're going to step our left foot in between the hands coming into our lunge. Find your stable base to begin. Grab a hold of the elastic center. We reach the arms out and up, lengthening into a high lunge. Either pausing here or begin to find length through the chest by extending up and back. Good, we'll return back to center and then twist our torso over towards that left side. Really draw the core in. Lengthen the legs long back behind you. 1 more deep breath. Return back to center and we'll reach the hands down to the floor. Release your flex stretcher. Step your right foot in slightly. It stays turned out slightly. The left foot stays parallel. Actually grab your left hand, draw it to the left hip, and pull that hip back so they stay even on the right and left side. We're on our fingertips. We lengthen the back long, either pausing and staying here, or on your exhale, release your body forward over the legs. Again, checking in where you're feeling the tension, you're feeling the deepest part of the stretch, and bring your attention to the back of that left hamstring. Bring your breath to that back left hamstring. Another deep breath in. Another exhale out. We're going to rise up to our flat back. Plant the hands down underneath you. Take a bend in your back leg, step it back, step your left leg back, come into a plank, take a deep breath in. Exhale out. From here, we're going to slowly lower ourselves down for a count of 5. Elbows draw in for 5, and 4, 3, 2, everything's down on 1. We're down onto our stomachs. We're gonna grab a hold of that elastic center in front of us. The elbows come directly underneath the shoulders. The hands are coming out directly in front of the elbows. We're pulling that flex stretcher apart, and you're imagining that your chest can pull through the hands. Still stay lifted up in the core, so that's what's supporting your back bend. Lengthen the legs long and back behind you, and then we'll rise the right leg up. Lower down. Good for 9 more. And 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, lift up 2, and 1. Left side for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Keep a focus on the core. It's lifting up and back. Last 3, last 2, last 1. Good. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, release everything down towards the floor. We'll lengthen our arms long out in front of us, and just release your forehead down to your mat, your blanket. Again, focus on that core lifting up. We'll lift the chest up and back, and then we'll rise the legs up and back behind us. We'll pull the flexi stretcher out wide, lengthen the arms back. Good for 4. Pull it out, back in. Last 3, lift up. Last 2, last 1. Good, slowly lower everything down towards the floor. The right ear can come down towards your mat. Focusing on pulling up through the core when we lift up and back. Good, we'll find our way back to center. Let the arms lift long out in front of us. We'll lift the shoulders up, we'll lift the torso up, lift the legs up and back behind you, and then flutter the legs back. So we're kicking for 10, 9, 8, 7, lift up in the chest. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good, let the hands lower down, let the legs lower down. Left ear releases down towards the mat. From here, we bring our hands underneath us. Just slowly push ourselves up and back into a child's pose. Knees open out wide. Just relax your body forward in between the legs. Good, using the hands to slowly walk yourself back through center. We'll come down to be seated and grab a hold of our flex stretcher. We're gonna come into our bound angle pose, so we're gonna lengthen the straps a bit from what they were for our hand variation, because now it's gonna have that same variation but onto the feet and the hips. Once you lengthen one side, be sure to lengthen the opposite side. Again, if it's not perfect on the first try, that's absolutely okay. We have time to adjust. Taking my left loop to my left foot, reaching my flex stretcher foam center behind my back, and then taking the right loop to my right foot. A good way to check if you're even here is by lengthening the legs out long in front of you. The metal loop should come to the same spot on the side. Good. So we're going to come back into that bound angle pose. It will feel a little loose here, and that's absolutely okay. We're going to bring our hands either to the inside part of our feet with the thumbs in, fingers wrap around top, or grab a hold of the ankles. Take a deep breath in, try and lengthen the spine, and then exhale, begin to forward fold over the legs. You can use your elbows to gently bring the legs a little bit more open, but finding long and lengthened back. Good, from here, come back up through center. We'll lengthen our legs out in front of us into that same forward seated position. Grab a hold of the metal loops on the side. The legs are lengthened long, and then lift the chest up and back as you find a little bit of an extension. Come back up through center, and then exhale, bring your whole body forward over your legs. You can rock a little bit from side to side and make sure you're really on top of those sits bones. And just use that flexi stretcher coming around the lower back to give you a gentle assist of really pouring your heart forward, pouring those hips down. From here, slowly roll yourself up through center. We're going to bring the legs back into that bound angle posture, the soles of the feet together, and then lengthen the right leg out long. Pause for a moment here. You might have some slack again, that's totally okay. Our right hand's gonna come down to the floor. Left arm reaches up and overhead as we fold over towards the right side. Your top shoulder is gonna release down away from your ear, and if you can, bring your gaze underneath your top arm so you're really pouring that rib cage open and you're really folding the whole body over to the side. Good, push off of your bottom right hand, come back up through center. We're gonna switch sides. The right foot comes in, the left leg reaches out long. Keep your left leg lengthened, that foot flexed. Left hand comes down to the floor, right arm reaches up and over, fold over to the left. Again, if you can, take your gaze underneath your top arm so you're really opening up that rib cage, folding over to the left side. Push off of your bottom arm, come back up through center. We'll open up both legs now to meet into our middle split. Adjust yourself by coming forward if you need to. The flex stretcher is there to keep the legs opening out wider and wider, really externally rotating from the top of the thighs. The hands can start by being planted on the ground underneath you and then just bend in the legs. Lengthen those knees long. So we're bending, keep that external rotation, lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. Good. As we're bending and straightening here, lift up as tall as you possibly can through the center of the body. If you want to challenge your balance, begin to bring the arms forward into first. Good. If you want to challenge your balance a little bit more, we can bring the arms up and overhead. Again, the tendency when the arms come from forward to up is to let the rib cage spill forward. I really want you to fight against that. You're lengthening up as long as you possibly can through the upper body. Still bending and straightening those legs underneath. Good, let the hands lower down towards the floor. Legs are lengthening long. We're gonna plant our right hand, left arm reaches up and overhead, fold to the right. And then slowly walk the hands forward. Fold over to the left side. Left hand plant reaches the right arm up and over. Press off of the left arm, rise up through center. Take that reverse. So we're planting our left hand, our right arm reaches up and over. Slowly walk the hands forward and down in front of you. Walking through center and then over to the right side. Right hand plants, left arm reaches up. Push off of your right hand, come back up through center. Slowly let the hands pause and then walk the hands slowly forward. Good. Pause for a deep breath in. Slowly walk the hands forward. Repeat that if you'd like, or pausing wherever you're feeling the deepest stretch for yourself today. It's different than tomorrow or last week or yesterday, and just working wherever you're feeling it today. Never to a point of pain, to a point that's really uncomfortable. Just finding your edge and breathing there. Good, wherever you are. Slowly bring the hands back underneath you and walk yourself back up through center. We're going to bring our legs together, so soles of the feet join in front of you, and then slowly roll yourself all the way onto your back. The legs will reach up and overhead, and pause for a moment here. You can bring the hands onto the metal loops and let the legs slowly float away from you. And feel that assist of the flex stretcher just gently tipping the hips forward and away, lengthening the lower spine. From here, we're gonna let the legs come back right on top of the hips. The arms can lengthen out wide to the side. Flex the feet and then externally rotate, open the legs, let them close back through center. We'll take 9 and 8. Last 7, 6, and 5, really opening from the top of the hips. Keep that body active and lifting up through the core even though you're laying flat on the ground. Good, last one, pause in this external rotation. We'll take a little demi-plie and then push off against the straps, lengthen the legs. A little demi-plie, lengthen the legs out long. Good, last 3. Working slow and mindfully, really pushing against the flex stretcher's elastic resistance. Last one. Good. Pausing with the legs lengthen long, and then externally rotate. Open up the legs through a middle split. Draw the heels back together in front of you. So we're slowly opening the legs out long, resisting against the elastic, and then pull, 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 pull the legs back in through center. Good. 3 more of those. Keep the core engaged, really lengthening long, and finding a stable body that's lengthened onto the floor. Last 2. Last one. When you pause into your middle split, you can let the legs open out wide. Pausing here. Bring your hands to the adjustable straps on the side if you want to deepen the stretch a bit. We're going to let the feet join again above. Slowly draw the heels together. Internally rotate your legs. Pausing here. This is an adjustment on legs up against the wall. A phenomenal pose to end your day, to end your practice, really to get the blood flowing out of the feet, out of the lower legs. Taking a few deep breaths here. Good. From here, bring your hands to the middle loops. Bend the knees and draw them over to your right side. Push off of your hands to come up through seated, and then go ahead and take your flex stretcher loops off. We are all set. That is it for class. I'm going to go ahead and turn the comments on, so if you have any more questions, feel free to ask me. That is what I'm here for. Cool. Comments are back on. I hope you are feeling warm, energized throughout your body. It's a great class to just add to before you start a ballet class, to kind of wrap up your day. Whatever it is, just get the blood flowing. Feel a little bit more lengthened and strengthened than you felt before coming in. Yay, Jordan, I'm happy you're back. So again, if anyone has any questions, comments, things you would like to see in classes in the future, please let me know. We've been doing this for a few months now, and like I always say, the classes are here to benefit you, so whatever you want to see, I would love to do. Cool. So my name is Rain Short. You can reach out to me if you have any questions. You can reach out to us here on Russian Point Brand on Flex Stretchers IG page. We'll be tuning in on Fridays at 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time over at Flex Stretchers for Flexibility Fridays. So if you haven't tuned in there, go ahead and say hi on Friday. I'll be there. Oh, yay, I'm so glad you loved the last class too. Great, I'm so glad it worked out so well for everyone. Really designed just to get you feeling warm. I'm not sure if it's because there's a lot of sun in my apartment right now, but I'm warm and I'm feeling good, ready to take a ballet class. Yeah, okay, so if there's no further questions, yes, thank you. It's 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for those of you tuning in on the East Coast. Still a nice morning activity. Cool. So if there's nothing else, I'm going to go ahead and tune off for the day. I hope you have a beautiful and productive Wednesday, whatever that means for you. Thank you so much for tuning in. I absolutely love teaching these classes. Yeah, here for you guys. Thank you so much. Have a great day.